Ah! Huh?
Hello and welcome to another Blender tutorial. My name is Raymond Gabriel and today we will be learning how to create these cartoonish expressions in Blender. I will be dividing this tutorial into two parts, so without any further delay, let's get started. What we have here is this image that I have found online. You can download it from a link in the description below, and I will also be leaving the original link in the description as well. What we have is different shapes for a face with different expressions. What we need is extract these mouse shapes in a separate image to be able to use it in Blender easier. So to do that, as always, we will manipulate the image in Gimp. So first open up Gimp and drag and drop this image inside of Gimp. First, make sure that the image contains an alpha channel, so go to Layer and from Transparency, press Add Alpha Channel, then go to the Fuzzy Select tool or the magic wand and select the white color. That will select the white color in the image. Press Ctrl X to remove the white color from the image. Now go to Select, press None, that will remove the selection. Now go to this tool, which is the Pre-Select tool. Press Ctrl and scroll to be able to zoom. Press your left mouse button and drag to draw around this mouse shape. Press Enter to confirm the selection. Now if I press Shift, you will see a little plus sign appear beside the cursor. That means that anything that we will select after that will be added to this selection. So keep pressing Shift and with your mouse select another shape, then press Enter. I will keep doing that with all the other shapes. If you press Ctrl, you will also be able to remove from the selection. If you press Backspace, you will remove the selection that you have made and you will start over. Now press Ctrl X, then Ctrl V to paste the selection in a new layer. Press right click and select to new layer. To confirm the layer, press this eye icon to hide the layer. I will do the same thing with the eyes, but as you can see, it's more or less repeating in every single one of those. So I will only be using one of them. So let's select one of them quickly. Press Ctrl X, then Ctrl V and select to new layer, then hide it. I will do the same thing with the eyebrow and with the nose. What is missing now is creating another eye with the eyelids shut, so we can make the animation for the blinking. But as you can see, there is none of those expressions that have a fully shut eye, so we will be creating that. Let's maybe take this one, select this eye, press Ctrl to remove the nose from the selection, press Ctrl X. Make sure that you select the image, the original image, to be able to cut from it. Press Ctrl X, Ctrl V, and then to new layer. Now I will remove the original image. Move this layer to the middle by selecting the Move tool, like that. I will be duplicating this layer, so right click and select Duplicate Layer. Move it beside it. In this layer, let's remove the iris shape. Press the Pre-Select tool and carefully select this part. Press Ctrl X, select None. Now select the Fuzzy Select tool and select the empty part here. Press Shift to add to the selection and select this one as well. Now go to the Bucket Fill tool. Make sure that this option is selected. Fill whole selection. Invert the colors so you have the white color in front. Now press inside of the selection to fill this space with the white color. Now let's separate the upper eyelid from the bottom one. You can just press and not drag your mouse to create specific points in the middle of this black line, and do the same thing with the other eye. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle, but as much as you can. press Ctrl X, Ctrl V, and that will put it in another layer. Let's remove this layer as we do not need it anymore. Unhide all the layers that you have. Take the last one that you've done, press this link, and you can link these two layers so they can be moved together like that. The last thing that we need to do is separate the iris and put it in a different layer as well. So first select the layer with the eyes. Now go to this tool, ellipse, select tool, and select the shape of the eyes. You can adjust the selection from these squares. Press Shift to add to this selection and adjust it as well. Now press Ctrl X, Ctrl V, and paste it in a new layer. Right click to new layer, hide this layer. Let's fill this space with the white color, so make a selection, Shift and the other one. Select the bucket fill tool and fill this selection with the white color. Select none. Okay, so what I need to do now is color these eyes with a different color, as this is supposed to be skin color. First select the fuzzy select tool and select the white color here. Press Shift and select the other one. Now select the bucket fill tool, maybe choose an orange color like that and press OK. Now press inside of selection to fill it with the color. Do the same thing for the lower eyelids. Okay, now that we have all the layers ready, we need to export each one of them in a separate image. So hide all the layers that you have and only unhide one of them, then press File, Export As, name it something relevant, then export. Hide it and unhide another layer, then do the same thing. So now let's switch to Blender. First thing, select everything in the scene and delete them. Press Shift A, go to Image, Reference, and select the original image that you have and load it inside of Blender. Press Alt plus R to remove any rotation, then press RX90, RZ90 and move it like that. Okay, then press Shift A and create a camera. Press Alt R, then press RX90 and RZ90, G, and then X. Press 0 on your numpad, or from View, Camera, Active Camera. Press N on your keyboard, then go to View from here, and then check Lock Camera to View, and that will lock the camera to the view. When you move the view, you will also move the camera. So move the camera up like that. Go to this tab here, and from Type, switch it to Orthographic. Then from Orthographic Scale, press and slide it until you have the camera like that. What we need to do is match the bounds of the camera to the bounds of the image. The problem is that the camera have a resolution of 1920 by 1080, but the image has a different resolution. So what we need to do is check the resolution of this image from Gimp. So go back to Gimp, then from Image, select Canvas Size. You'll see that you have 2500 by 2500. So let's match this resolution to here. Now go to this tab and change the scale. You can also press Shift to slow it down, so you can be able to control it a little bit more. Maybe press G and move it. Try to fit it as much as you can. Don't forget to uncheck this when you're finished, so you don't accidentally move the camera. Now what we need to do is create a mesh for each part that will be animated. So let's first add a plane. Press Shift and right click to change the location of the 3D cursor. Press Shift A, and from Mesh, choose Plane. Press R, then Y, then 90. Press S to scale it down like that. Press S, then Y to scale it on the Y axis. Press G, then X and move it in the X axis like that. Go to the wireframe and make sure that the plane is overlapping the whole mouse, and also make sure that this plane will be covering all the other shapes the mouse in the other expression. So for example here it will be larger, so we need to make it a bit larger like that, and keep doing that until you are sure that all the other expressions will fit inside this plane. Now go to solid view again, press tab to go to edit mode, press right click and select subdivide. That will subdivide the plane, and you will see here subdivide options and change the number of cuts to maybe 10. Now press tab to go to object mode again. Press H on your keyboard to hide it, and let's do the same thing with the other parts that we have. We have the eyes, so create a plane and scale it down. Go to wireframe by pressing Z, move this plane a little like that. You can unhide by pressing Alt H, and you can select multiple items by holding Shift. Let's make another mesh for the iris. So Shift right click, press Shift A, and maybe create a circle. Press R, Y 90, scale it down, press G, then X, press tab to go to edit mode, then press F to fill it with a face, press Shift D, then Y to duplicate it to the other iris. And let's do the same thing with the eyebrow. Let's try and make the shape of the plane a little bit matching with the eyebrow. Go to edit mode by pressing tab, press Ctrl R to add an edge loop here, and select this vertex and move it by pressing G, then Z, and move it down like that. Press A to select everything, right click and subdivide to subdivide the mesh, and maybe press 5 here, press Z and go to solid view, press Shift D to duplicate it, press Y to lock it on the Y axis. Now press Ctrl M to mirror it, and then press Y to mirror it on the Y axis. Okay, press Alt H to unhide everything. Let's make the final mesh for the nose. Press Alt H to unhide everything. Now what we need to do is add the images that we have created in Gimp and put it as textures on top of these planes. So let's first start with the mouse. Select the plane of the mouse, then go to this tab, the material tab, then press new. Change the material name to mouth. Go here to the corner of the viewport and split it into 2 parts. Then select here shader editor. Press N to close the side panel. Press Shift A, and from texture choose image texture. Now press open and go to where you saved the images and select the mouth. Press open and then connect the color to the base color of the mesh. Press 0 to go back to the camera view. Press here to go to the render shading. Right now the scene is very dark, so let's add some lighting. Press Shift A, then from light select sun, move it and rotate it. What we see now is the whole image appearing on this small plane, and that's not what we want. We want it to be only this mouse visible on the plane. So let's do that by UV unwrapping this plane. So split the viewport into 2 parts again, and here select UV editor. Press tab to go to edit mode, press A to select everything, then make sure that you are on camera orthographic, then press U and then project from view. What will that do is that it will project the plane exactly as you see it in the viewport and exactly at this location of the image. So you will only be seeing this mouth on the plane. Okay, the next step will be to change the settings of these materials and the blend mode from opaque to alpha clip, and also connect the alpha output of this image to the alpha input of the material like that, so that we will only see the mouse without the alpha channel. Let's do the same thing for the other planes as well. Select the eyes, press tab to go to edit mode. We have forgotten to subdivide this mesh, so right click and subdivide this mesh and change the number of cuts to 10. This is very important because in the animation part of this tutorial we will animate these vertices to simulate the movement of the eyes. So it's important to have this much vertices. Okay, press A to select everything, then press U, then project from view. Right now you don't see anything because there is no material on this plane. So we will create a new material and name this one eyes. And again, press Shift A here and choose from texture, image texture, and then open and select the image of the eyes that you have created and connect the color with the base color and also the alpha with the alpha. And from the settings, change the blend mode to alpha. I will keep doing that for the other planes as well, for the iris planes and for the eyebrows and for the nose. Because I have created two planes for the iris, so I need to select the other iris as well and put the same materials that I have made for the iris. Okay, there is something that I have forgotten to do, which is create new meshes for the upper eyelid and the lower eyelid. So I went back to Gimp and exported out the lower eyelid and the upper eyelid. You can find all the links to the images that I have created in Gimp in the description below if you want to download them and continue in Blender. So let's create the planes for the eyelids. Press Shift A, then from Mesh, select Plane, press R, then Y, then 90, move it on the X-axis like that, press S and scale it down. Okay, now press Shift D to duplicate it for the lower eyelid. Because I've changed the scale in the object mode, I have to apply the scale that I have done. So press Ctrl A and select Apply Scale. Now what I need to do is create a material for these meshes. So press New and call this one Upper Eyelid. And also you want to project it from view by pressing U. Right now it's in a different position in the image, so you have to move it in the UV editor like that. Maybe also you need to select these two vertices and move them down so they are a little bit bigger, and project from view again, move them like that in the UV editor. Maybe move them until they are matching with the upper eyelid like that. Now we don't need the reference image anymore, so delete it. Something that you might have noticed, that when I move these two iris from the back to the front, that right now you are seeing shadows being dropped from the iris to the eyes behind it. We don't want that because it's a 2D animation and we don't want to have any shadows in the scene. So to fix that, select the iris mesh and then go in the material in the same place where you selected alpha clip. In the shadow mode, select none. To be safe, select all the other meshes and change the material to none as well. Okay, now that we are done with the meshes, let's try and rearrange the location of them. The last thing that I want to do in this part is I want to create a circular shape behind it. So I will have a more cartoonish shape. Right now I do not need the camera to be in this position, so I can just move it like that. And I can also change the scale, maybe scale it down like that. Let's create the circle, but we will not create it with a normal mesh circle. We will do it with a grease pencil. So press Shift C so that the 3D cursor is back in the center of the scene. Then press Shift A and then from grease pencil select blank. Make sure that you have it selected. Then press Ctrl Tab and select Draw. Then from these tools select the circle and create a circle like that and press Enter. You can press Tab and go to edit mode and you can adjust the size of this circle. You can also go to the material and press new, maybe rename this material to head and check this check mark beside fill, and that will fill it with the color. Just change the color to something more orangey. Maybe adjust the size again like that. And also to finish up, maybe increase the strength of the sun a little bit to make it 5. Okay, that's it for this part. In the next part, we will explain how to rig the mouse and change the location of the UV to move it from this location to this location, and change the animation or the shape of the mouth. And also we'll see how to rig the blinking eyes, so we will have them hidden, then return them so we can make the blinking animation, and also create some controllers for the mouse to be able to deform them, and for the eyebrows as well. So I'll see you in the next part. I hope that you found this part useful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified as soon as part 2 is available. Also, don't forget to share this video with anyone that can benefit from it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.